My name is Suruchi Rai. I am Assistant Professor in Rameshwaram Institute of Technology and Management, Lucknow. Today, I am going to teach you a subject Pharmaceutics first with the subject code BP103T. Today, I am going to teach you first unit with the topic Historical Background and Development of Profession of Pharmacy, Part 1. In Part 1, we are going to discuss about history of profession of pharmacy in India. The Indian system of medicine was originated from Ayurveda, which illustrates an ancient science of life. The pillars of Ayurveda are Charak Samhita and Shushruta Samhita. Charak Samhita is compiled and edited by Maharishi Charak, and Shushruta Samhita includes and addresses all the aspects of general medicine. Let's have a brief overview about the pioneers and their contribution to the medicine. The first pioneer is Hippocrates. Hippocrates serves the mankind from 466 to 377 BC. I think you should know about the term AD and BC. This is a timeline system where AD means Anno Domini and BC means before Christ. Basically what they did, they divided the timeline according to the birth of Lord Jesus Christ. Clear? Next, the Hippocrates, they are also known as the father of medicine, and their concepts were accepted and still utilized by a healthcare professional nowadays. Next pioneer is Aristotle from 384 to 322 BC. He is a Greek philosopher, scientist who is still considered one of the great thinkers in politics, psychology and ethics. Next is Dioscorides from 40 to 80 AD, which is Anno Domini. He is a Greek physician. He linked botany and wrote a book named Materia Medica with the 5 volumes. The 5 volumes include a drug basically from the plant origin like hyoscyamus, opium, naturally occurring drug for their identification, their cultivation, their collection and finally storage of that plants. Next is Galen from 131 to 200 AD. He was the first pharmacist and he made available many formulation and method of preparations. His work is still known as a clinical pharmacy. Until 1240 AD, the pharmacy remained linked with the medicine. Due to the continuation of the exploration of a new drug, it's difficult to handle the pharmacy and medicine simultaneously. Therefore, German Emperor Frederick II felt that the pharmacy should be separated from the medicine. So, in 1240, the pharmacy gets separated from the medicine. Next emperor is Paracelsus from 1493 to 1541. He is also known as the father of toxicology. He was a chemical entrepreneur. He developed mineral salts which shows a curative property, have a potential of a curative property against the diseases. He mentioned that the chemical moieties, which are the part of a drug, are responsible for the treatment of various diseases. Next pioneer is Lee Mary from 1644 to 1751. She reported the importance of extraction method, the use of extraction method and how we can extract by using alcohol. She explained that alcohol can be used as a very effective extractant for the extraction process. And finally, next pioneer is Swedi Linus from 1707 to 1778. He classified the plants and introduced the binomial system of taxonomy. Binomial system of taxonomy means the system of naming the plants. So this is all about the profession of pharmacy in India. Sorry, history of pharmacy in India. The next topic is, now we should learn about the history of pharmaceutical industries in India. Starting from 1901, the Bengal Chemical and Pharmaceutical Works was established in Kolkata by Professor P.C. Roy. In 1907, Alembic Chemical Works was set up in Baroda. In 1922, the introduction of urea stibamine, which is used for the treatment of Kala-Azar, which is also known as leishmaniasis. It's a disease for which the urea stibamine can be used to cure the leishmaniasis. Next is, in 1930, the manufacturing of sera, vaccines, anesthetics like ether, chloroform and few simple drugs was started in the country by coal tar distillation process. Next is 1942. In 1942, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research was registered. In 1954, Hindustan Antibiotic Limited was set up to increase the production of antibiotic. Especially at those time, the production of penicillin as well as streptomycin was started in 1954. Next is 1960s. In 1960s, there is a collaboration between the research and development, which is also called as R&D department, the industries, the national laboratories and academia was started. They are collaborating from 1960s. In 1970s, the government of India gives a special provision in the Patent Act. In 1980 to 1990, the number of manufacturing units were set up in the country. Moving towards the goal of Indian pharmaceutical industry in 21st century. The main goal of Indian pharmaceutics from Indian pharmaceutical industry was to provide a healthcare at all affordable costs. Next is new drug discovery, which is also called as the novel drug discovery, discovery of new drugs so that we can use that drugs to treat various diseases. So this is the top 10 pharmaceutical companies in India. I have listed the name of the pharmaceutical company according to their ranks and along with their market capitalization. So number 1 is Sun Pharmaceutical Industrial Limited, second is Aurobindo Pharma Limited and Lupin, then Cipla. On fifth position is Dr. Reddy's Laboratory, Cadila Healthcare, 7 Glenmark Pharmaceutical, Torrent Pharmaceutical and Sekilas is Alkem Laboratories Limited and the last is Davis Laboratories. And here you can see the market capitalization in 2020. Next, this is all about the pharmaceutical industry in India. Next, talking about the present scenario of the industries in India, the pharmaceutical industry today is one of the largest and the most advanced among the developing countries. If talking about the developing countries, then India is one of the largest as compared to the other countries. India is capable of manufacturing 70% of its bulk drug. The pharmaceutical industry in India is the world third in the terms of volume and stands 14 in terms of the value. And according to the Department of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizer, the total turnover of India pharmaceutical industry is US dollar 21.04 billion approximately. The main hub of pharmaceutical industries in India is Mumbai, Hyderabad Ahmedabad, etc. There are many more states are there where the Indian pharmaceutical companies were set up nowadays. So next topic is history of pharmacy organization in India. Talking about the organization, we'll start from 1920. So 1920, the Calcutta Chemist and Druggist Association was released, which changed its name to the Bengal Chemist and Druggist Association in 1926. In 1923, the Pharmaceutical Association organized, which is the organization of a qualified pharmacist, which changed its name to the Pharmaceutical Society India in 1925. In 1930, Drug Inquiry Committee, which is also known as the Chopra Committee, and the Dangerous Drug Act was published under the chairmanship of Colonel R.N. Chopra. Next, in 1935, All India Association, which is also known as United Provinces Pharmaceutical Association UPPA, registered in December, but the name that UPPA was soon changed to the Indian Pharmaceutical Association in 1936. Next is 1940, government brought the drug bill to regulate the import, the manufacture, the sale and distribution of drug in India. This bill was finally adopted as Drug Act in 1940, which is very important. This Drug Act 1940 is important for you. 1946, in 1946, the Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, which is called as APTI, was formed. In 1948, Indian Pharmaceutical Congress Association was floated in Kolkata, which is Calcutta. In 1948, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission was constituted under the chairmanship of late Dr. B.N. Ghosh. In 1949, the Pharmacy Council of India was established. In 1980, there is establishment of Pharmacy Graduate Association, which is in short called as IPGA. Then these are the references from where I have taken the history of profession India, the history of the companies, pharmaceutical companies. As now we will see, we can revise the topic starting from this. Starting from the history of profession of pharmacy in India, you should learn about the Ayurveda, where Ayurveda is a pillar of Charak Samhita. They are the main pillar of Ayurveda system. Charak Samhita and Shushruta Samhita. In Charak Samhita, you should learn about the what were there in the Charak Samhita. That is, they are compiled by the Maharishi Charak. In Shushruta Samhita, they addresses the general medicine. All the information about the general medicine was there in the Shushruta Samhita, which is a compiled. This is a book. Compendium is a compendium where the information about the general medicine was there. Next is then you should learn about the Hippocrates. Hippocrates, in this you should know the Hippocrates are known as the father of medicine, and their concepts were accepted worldwide, and we are still using the healthcare professionals. They are still using their concepts, the concepts of Hippocrates in their profession. Next, we study about the Aristotle. Aristotle is a Greek philosopher and a scientist. He is a great thinker in politics, psychology and ethics. Then we study about the Dioscorides. Dioscorides, they are the Greek physician, and he wrote a book named Materia Medica. Materia Medica in 5 volumes, in 5 different volumes, and that those volumes contains a drug from plant origin like opium, hyoscyamus and naturally occurring drugs, their In that book, they've written about the identification, the cultivation, and collection, and the finally storage of those plant origin drug. Basically, the information about the plant origin drug were there in the Materia Medica with 5 volumes. Next is the Galen is the first pharmacist. You should all know about the name of the first pharmacist and the preparation, the formulas of the Galens were still utilized by the pharmacy professions and also known as the clinical pharmacy. In 1240 AD, the pharmacy was separated from the medicine. The German Emperor Frederick II thought that the pharmacy should be separated from the medicine because of the continuous exploration, that is continuous production of the new drugs, the noble drug discovery while there. So therefore, it's difficult difficult to handle both the field simultaneously. Therefore, in 1240, the pharmacy was separated from the medicine. Then we discuss about the Paracelsus, who is also known as the father of toxicology. He is a chemical entrepreneur and he developed the mineral salts and shows the curative property, the potential of the mineral salts to cure a disease. And he also mentioned that the chemical moieties from which the drug is obtained, from which the drug is made, they they are responsible for the treatment of various diseases. Then a second last is the Lee Mary. Lee Mary, she reported about the extraction process. And she make us believe that alcohol can be used as a very effective extractant for extraction process. And the last is Swede Linus, he classified the plant and introduced the binomial system of taxonomy. Binomial system of taxonomy, which means the system of naming plant. So it is very easy for you to learn. Next is the history of pharmaceutical industries in India. So starting from the Bengal chemical and pharmaceutical works, it's very easy. 1901, you can learn the Bengal chemical and pharmaceutical works in Kolkata. Then it's a similar name, that is Lambe chemical works in Baroda. Then you learn about the introduction of the urea stibimine. Urea stibimine is used to treat the disease, that is Kala-Azar or leishmaniasis, in 1922. Then there is a manufacturing was start of sera, vaccines, anesthetics like ether, chloroform and few simple drugs in the country with the coal tar distillation process. Then the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research was registered. Then Hindustan Antibiotic Limited was set up to increase the production of antibiotics in the country like penicillin and streptomycin. So you can learn this. It's very easy that antibiotic, you should know the name of the antibiotic. You can also write that also know the name of penicillin and streptomycin. Next is there is a collaboration between the research and development, the industry, the national laboratories and the academia in the country was started in 1960s. In 1970, the government of India gives a special provision for the Patent Act, so that there must be a more number of patents about the drugs in the country will started. And the last is in 1980s, 1990, there are many pharmaceutical companies were set up in the country. So in 21st century, the goal of pharmaceutical industries are to provide a health care for all at affordable cost. Affordable cost is very important because the general public can also afford the drugs which are in the market. They can also afford, should not be costly. So the reduction of the affordable cost drug is a very important and is a main goal for 21st century. And the next is new drug discovery. New discovery should be there in the country so that the new drugs can be used by the public for the various diseases. So this is all about the Indian pharmaceutical industry. After that, I have show you the 10 pharmaceutical companies name along with the market capitalization. In market capitalization, you can easily, I think you should know about these name of the countries. It's very popular companies. So the number one is Sun Pharmaceutical Industry Limited. Next is Aurobindo with the market capitalization was also there in the table. I think you can see that. Then next is Lupin in the third position. Then Cipla. Then Dr. Reddy's Laboratory, Cadila Healthcare, Glenmark Pharmaceuticals, Torin Pharmaceuticals, Alkem, and Davis Laboratory. These are the top 10 pharmaceutical company. I've also shared the link reference of this table in the reference section of my PPT. The next is present scenario. Talking about the present scenario of pharmaceutical industry, the Indian pharmaceutical industry today is one of the largest and most advanced among the developing countries, and capable of manufacturing 70% of its bulk drug requirement. And pharmaceutical industry in India is the world third largest in terms of volume and stands 14 in terms of value. According to the Department of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, the total turnover of India is US dollar 21.04 billion, and the main hub of pharmaceutical companies in India is Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Ahmedabad. So this is all about the Indian pharmaceutical industry. Afterwards, I've discussed about the pharmaceutical organizations, the organizations which are made for to take care of the laws of the manufacturing for the sale of the pharmaceutical drugs in the country. The number one is the Calcutta Chemist and Druggist Association, which its name was changed and became the Bengal Chemist and Druggist Association in 1926. Next is Pharmaceutical Association, which is the organization of registered or qualified pharmacists, and its name changed to the Pharmaceutical Society in India in 1925. Afterwards, All India Association, United Provinces Pharmaceutical Association UPPA registered in December, but the name changed to Indian Pharmaceutical Association, which is also called as IPA, in 1936. Next is the drug bill. Government brought the drug bill. Drug bill regulates the import, the manufacturing, the sale and distribution of drug in the British India. Finally, this bill was adopted as a Drug Act of 1940, which is important for you. The Drug Act of 1940. Then talking about the next association, 1946. In 1946, Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers in India, in short we can say APTI, was formed. Next is in 1948, Indian Pharmaceutical Congress Association, also known as IPCA, Calcutta, was floated. Next is 1948, the Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee. The Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee was constituted under the chairmanship of late Dr. B.N. Ghosh. Then the 1949, the Pharmacy Council of India, which is PCI was established. Then discuss about the establishment of Pharmacy Graduate Association, which is also called as IPGA. Then these are the references from where I've taken all the data, that is the history of pharmacy profession, the history of pharmaceutical industries, and the top 10 pharmaceutical companies. So you can see these references and can go through this. This is also references, and this is all for today. Thank you.